Oh no, when I was homeless, I slept outside. I slept in ATMs. I slept in random places. Let me tell you something with my life. I had a stable life up until the age of 29 years old when my life took a turn. So I lived in the same, I grew up in one home my whole life. So all the stability I went through, I think what got me through homelessness, and I stayed true to myself. I stayed true to my style. I didn't let that situation make me. I'm telling you, when I was homeless, I didn't think I was homeless because I transitioned my
I could never tell you was homeless.
I transitioned my perspective. Oh no, I wasn't homeless when you met me. I came out of homelessness in 2023 when I had to leave a relationship that wasn't for me. So when I set myself free into unknown territory, that's when I realized how much adaptability, how much solution oriented of my spirit I have in me. Because that's what creates adaptability, is when you know you're in a low season and you create this mental willpower within yourself to not go back to the things you know are going to bring you backwards. For instance, I was lonely in 2023, 2024, lost in these spaces, not getting along with the only person I know down here, which is my older sister. So me realizing I had no resources down here and how I pulled myself up out of situations by staying true to my character, my words, and standing on real principles. A lot of us go back on what we say. We don't even trust ourselves. Me, I'm grateful that my ex that put me through that tremendous relationship, I never made myself a victim. Because I realized the moment you make yourself a victim to somebody else, even if you did suffer abuse from them, like I experienced from that person, I came out of it and never went backwards. I never chased the person. Once I was done, I was done. See, unknown territory will have you going back to the same people, same situations, same jobs you don't like because you're not used to change. You're used to contentment and conformment. Me, I'm used to change because I'm an open-minded person. I like to learn new skills and read books and stuff and take myself to new spaces and new areas and new rooms. Like I can walk into any room and make somebody my best friend. But I knew that when I left that relationship that it did something to me because I wasn't talkative. I wasn't open. I was scared of the world. I was closed off. So a lot of us don't realize a lot of our issues are because we're not removing these blockages from what we've been through. I'm telling you, think about it. Think about it. You're homeless, right? You're going through your situation. I told you I was homeless from 2019 on and off until 2022. But what kept me going in that situation is having a routine, having a disciplined routine, waking up, eating clean. I was still vegan when I was homeless. I still was vegan. I still was reading my books. I still was taking notes. So that made me realize how much willpower and consistency and discipline and focus I have in my life. But that comes from eating the right foods, but surrounding yourself with the right things you're watching, cutting off these distractions that have you questioning, confused, annoyed, and bothered. The moment we realize that all the things that we're complaining about, family, friends, or anything, you can cut that all off. We've been conditioned, especially in the Black community, to not speak up to our mothers or fathers or authority figures we see in our families. That's not how life will work. Because like I told you, you don't need that person. You don't need that person. Look at me. I cut off my sister in a state where I have nobody. My mother and everybody's back at home. So the fact that I was able to come down here, cut my sister off because that energy no longer serves me. I'm healing and elevating. I'm getting to a place where I'm seeing what's going on in the world, what's going on with our food. Like, you can't fool me and play me. You cannot fool me and play me. I know what's going on. I can feel the energy. I'm so connected to the point where you'll never hear me say, oh, are you sure? Are you this? I don't have no confusion in nothing in my life because I make sure now going forward after being a domestic violence survivor, I make sure that I got to create my life where I feel peace, flow, and ease. Because in my 20s, I was free. Girl, you couldn't tell me nothing. I was free going. And then I realized that relationship took a toll on my light and my abundance. Now I see why a lot of women become closed off and angry and bitter. I don't want that for women who've been through domestic violence situations. You know what I mean? I want women to set themselves free and be okay with unknown territories, unknown spaces, because these unknown spaces brought me back to new creativity I never had, even though I've been a creative person and an artist for years, my whole life. You know what I mean? Come on. That's why I said a lot of us are our own excuses and our own worst enemy. I was my own worst enemy for years. I had to get out of my own feelings and emotions, but the moment I knew what I was suffering from, that made me realize what I have to do now for myself going forward. Like, this is the first job I've held in so long. I've had amazing jobs in my career and opportunities, but my emotions and feelings and thoughts were always getting away. My bipolar.
Sometimes you can feel like this when you got a job. Sometimes people
Think about it. Think about it.
I be like,
Think about it. My whole entire life, people have made excuses for why I'm always happy and full of life.
they love it, don't they?
But why are you making excuses? When I was homeless, I was happy and at peace. In every situation I faced, I listened to the Spirit and I listened to God to direct me. I didn't listen to friends and family and everybody else. I had to listen to my inner source, my spirit. Then I had to listen to myself and God and what He's telling me. I had a lot of low, silent seasons, but it created a powerful testimony for my life that I listened to what He has directed me to. People don't realize it, but there's a spirit when it comes to God, and He speaks to you. The moment you start cutting off these distractions, these worldly conditionings, and you start thinking for yourself and breaking free, creating your own flow every day, your own lane, your own disciplines, your own focus outside of the everyday norm, you're going to realize how great life is. Like, the experiences I went through were very traumatic. It could have drove me to suicide and drugs and stuff, but I didn't. I didn't. I'm telling you, when I was homeless, I got thrown into a lot of things and people trying to entice me to do things to make money. I didn't do it. I had my parents and I had God. But I realized I'm not going to fall victim to things because I'm in a low season. Because think about it. When you lose a parent, when you go through homelessness or anything, a lot of us, if you don't realize why you're doing what you're doing and the emotion behind why you're doing it, you're going to realize that you're doing things and you're not even wanting to do it. You're not even wanting to eat it. You're not even wanting to see this person. The moment I understood my emotions more, my thoughts and my feelings, my triggers more, I gained more willpower. So now I don't feel fear of the world because of my domestic violence trauma. I don't feel fear. I feel open. I feel empowered that these situations didn't take me out. I could have became suicidal. I used to have suicidal thoughts, girl, and I finally got rid of them. I finally see the light because I was with someone that took that light away from me.
You had a guy friend also, right?
Oh, that guy friend I met right after. The guy friend I met down here was the guy friend that came out of nowhere, and he's amazing. And it's crazy because this is my power testimony that you gotta listen to your spirit in these confusion situations in life where you feel like you don't even know what to do to get yourself out, even though you're doing everything to get yourself out. That's why I tell people, what are you telling yourself in these seasons? What are you doing to get yourself out of these seasons? Are you settling? Are you becoming comfortable? Because that's what it did for me. All these unknown territories made me want to settle. It made me not want to get back to my art and designs and those big dreams I've always had for myself. It made me want to settle and be content. That's why a lot of people don't chase their dreams, because the body holds trauma. And that can create less power in yourself. You can become chronically tired and all over the place, not be able to focus or anything. That's why I had to get to the root of my stuff, man. My shit, I had to get to the root. Because I said to myself, ain't no way I'm going to be bitter and angry. I never was like that. I'm telling you, I never was like that before in my 20s. I was able to get up and go. Now I knew something was blocking me from getting up and go and feeling energized about my day. So now I rewire my brain back to myself, but an even freer version. I'm not really triggered easily, really. I have quiet spaces. I have safe places, peaceful places I go to, whether it's my artwork, my books, or within myself, where I create that space to have silence every day. You know, I don't have kids, so I can do that. But in reality, even when my mother was having us, I feel like she always made time for self-care. She always made some time for self-preservation. That's important, because a lot of us women, we sit around and complain, but we don't realize the power and courage and confidence that we can continuously, contently have in our lives. We don't realize that. We've been so conditioned on what we have to do for other people that I'm big on putting me first. That's why I'm able to show up fully for people and not feel drained. That's why I'm able to listen to you and not feel drained, because I pour so much into myself. Like, I legit pour so much into myself that I don't feel depleted when setbacks come really, because I have avenues where I go to. I don't feel depleted when somebody on the street wants to talk to me about their life problems, or when I go teach my classes and I hear women's traumatic stories. I can talk about my stories now and feel comfortable. I'm not really emotional.
You teach them.
Yeah, I teach domestic violence classes at the domestic violence shelter down the street. But that's why it's so empowering that years ago I didn't have nothing to talk about when I started my classes at 22. But now at 35, it's like God, I went through all these twists and turns, man. I'm telling you, God has been amazing in my life. Just me listening to my spirit and not my emotions. It created so much willpower, because I have to sit back and realize, like, that's why I keep trying to tell you, you got to sit back and realize what you went through and been through, and not let these seasons make you feel defeated and just drained out, but to find some type of message in it. That's what got me forward. That's what got me staying true to myself, because homelessness and that relationship made me.
Getting rid of my phone.
You got to get rid of your phone. See, a lot of us know what we should be doing, but we don't do it. That's the problem. The moment I got out of those feelings.
I told you to text some people when my kids were in school.